Welcome to the daily dose of routine proceedings. Today we're going to talk about man-animal conflict. We're going to have more insight that what is the cause of increasing man-animal conflict. So let's get started. Human-wildlife conflict, it refers to interaction between wild animals and humans and the resultant negative impact on people, animals, resources and habitats. It occurs when growing human population overlap the established wildlife territory. It can result in loss of life or injury to humans and wild animals, depredation of livestock, and degradation of habitat. Couple of days ago, we heard about the tragic death of elephant in Kerala. That elephant in Kerala most likely died by accidentally consuming explosive stuffed fruit that was actually meant for eliminating other smaller animals such as wild boar and monkeys, which cause massive destruction of crops. Such smaller animals which destruct and harm massive crops and affect the well-being of farmer, they can be declared as vermin under Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, and government can authorize their culling and hunting in order to keep their numbers under check. When animals like wild boars, when they explode in numbers and when there is infestation, they can destroy crop in the region, leading to significant losses which has to be borne by farmers. Usually in developed countries, there are well-defined policies. It is true that culling and hunting of vermin appears to be inhuman and goes against animal rights. But in the larger scheme of things, the elimination of vermin is actually a scientific way of promoting environment conservation and protection of larger threatened species. In developing countries like India, such provisions are rarely used because in most cases wildlife activists oppose that the culling of vermin on humanitarian grounds and interest of animal rights. But what they fail to understand is that the failure to scientifically eliminate vermin could affect the larger interest of environment conservation as well as the right of farmers. As we have seen the destructive impact of wild boars on agricultural crops, elimination of wild boars will not affect their species as it is of the least concern in the IUCN Red List. But failure to eliminate the wild boars might end up pushing farmers and local villagers to take up illegal method which could threaten larger animals and threatened species such as elements which has been listed endangered in the IUCN Red List. So I would like to say it is not just the villager or farmer who is responsible for such environmental destruction. It is also the urban dweller who should have the larger part of the responsibility, because at the end of the day, villagers and farmers are trying to meet unsustainable demands of urban dwellers. Ways and methods to overcome the environmental destruction. We should adopt more sustainable ways of farming which doesn't threaten the habitat of wildlife. Government institutions like National Board of Wildlife and Forest Advisory Committee should make more responsible decisions while approving the forest land towards industrial activities. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video and please like and subscribe.